My name is Skye Jethani. I'm the author of The Divine Commodity. In 1889, Vincent van Gogh composed his most famous painting, Starry Night. Art historians say that this was the pinnacle of Vincent's own self-identity and spiritual reflection. In the painting, we see the churning sky full of gold and yellow colors. Vincent said to his friends that he used the color yellow to depict the presence of divine love. What's so amazing, though, is this very same color is seen illuminating every home in the village below, except the church. It is dark, and that was a depiction of Vincent's own judgment that the church of his day was full of icy coldness. What he seems to be saying is that all the world is full of God's presence and love, but that you cannot find it within the church. More recently, a contemporary pop artist named Ron English has recomposed Vincent's painting. He still has a judgment for the church, but it looks different than it did 100 years ago. In Ron English's painting, called Starry Night Urban Sprawl, the church is not cold and dark. In fact, it's filled with light. But it's not the light of the heavens, it's the light of the consumer culture around it. This is a church that is there to entertain people and to meet spiritual needs of consumers. What he's depicting is the impact of consumerism on Christianity. Consumerism isn't just about consuming goods. It's a worldview. It's a way we understand ourselves and others. It's a system of meaning. And when that worldview is infused with Christian faith, it can distort our faith. It causes us to view the church as a corporation, to view worship as entertainment, and even to view God Himself as a commodity that we use rather than a sovereign God that we submit to. So how do we survive in the midst of a consumer culture? How do we remain faithful to God in the midst of these forces around us? Before we can live faithfully in obedience to God, we first have to have a flaming vision of what that kind of life looks like. And that comes to us through our intuitive faculties. As Thomas Kelly once said, "Holy is the imagination. It is the gateway of reality into our hearts." And that's really the purpose of The Divine Commodity. Each chapter of the book talks about how some aspect of our faith has been distorted through the impact of consumerism. But beyond that, it also helps illuminate our imaginations to a new way of living by uncovering the spiritual practices that can disengage us from the grip of consumerism and help us see a different way of life and faith. My great desire is that The Divine Commodity would not only challenge the assumptions you hold about your faith and about the church, but that it would also fill you with hope and give you eyes to see a faith beyond consumer Christianity.